old janitor pushed his cleaning cart quietly across the gleaming marble lobby. No one looked at him. Some employees stepped around him without saying a word. Others carelessly left empty coffee cups or crumpled papers behind, certain someone else would clean them. He simply smiled and kept working. Then something happened that brought the entire building to a standstill. The elevator doors slid open. The company's billionaire CEO stepped into the lobby, surrounded by executives, lawyers, assistants, and security guards. Conversations stopped. Employees hurried toward him, eager to shake his hand. "Good morning, Mr. Carter." "Welcome back, sir." The CEO acknowledged no one. Instead, he walked past every executive, past every manager, past every person trying to get his attention until he stopped in front of the old janitor. The lobby fell silent. The old man slowly looked up from his mop. The CEO's eyes filled with tears. His lips trembled. Then, barely above a whisper, he said one word. "Dad." No one moved. No one understood what they were seeing. Why was one of the richest men in the country staring at the building's oldest janitor as though he had just found someone he had been searching for all his life? The answer would change everything. Every weekday morning at exactly 5:45, long before the first employee walked through the revolving doors, Samuel unlocked the headquarters of Carter Global Industries. Outside, the city was only beginning to wake. Inside, the 40-story building rested in complete silence. Samuel preferred those quiet moments. They reminded him that every new day was another opportunity to serve. His routine had never changed. He swept the marble floors until they shined. He polished fingerprints from the glass entrance. He watered every plant in the reception area. He arranged every chair so perfectly that no one ever noticed they had been moved. By 8 o'clock, the building looked immaculate. Most employees never gave it a second thought. To them, clean floors simply existed. Few people even knew the old janitor's name. He was just the cleaning guy. Still, every morning, Samuel greeted everyone with the same warm smile. "Good morning." Some nodded without lifting their eyes from their phones. Others walked straight past him. A few never acknowledged him at all. Yet Samuel never seemed offended. His smile never faded. Marcus, the security guard stationed at the front entrance, often wondered why. One morning, he shook his head and laughed. "Samuel, if people ignored me the way they ignore you, I'd stop greeting them after a week." Samuel rested both hands on the handle of his mop and smiled. "You never know what burden someone carried into work today." Marcus chuckled. "You always have a lesson." Samuel laughed softly. "When you've lived long enough, life teaches plenty." Marcus smiled, unaware that those words carried far more meaning than he realized. As the day progressed, the building came alive. Executives rushed between meetings worth millions of dollars. Assistants hurried through the corridors carrying laptops and contracts. Phones rang endlessly. Elevators opened and closed every few seconds. Amid the constant rush, Samuel quietly emptied trash bins, polished handrails, and picked up litter before anyone noticed it was there. When he dusted someone's desk, he carefully worked around family photographs. When a visitor accidentally knocked over a flower pot, he quietly replanted it before anyone returned. And whenever children visited the office with their parents, Samuel reached into a small container hidden inside his cleaning cart. Inside were pieces of candy, not because anyone expected him to, because he believed every child deserved a reason to smile. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, a young intern named Chloe hurried through the lobby carrying a laptop, several files, and a cup of coffee. She was running late. Her shoes slipped on the wet floor. The coffee flew through the air. The cup shattered. Brown liquid splashed across the spotless marble floor. Important documents scattered everywhere. The lobby grew quiet. Several employees sighed in annoyance. One executive frowned. "Someone should clean this up." Before anyone else reacted, Samuel hurried over. He didn't reach for the mop first. He knelt beside Chloe. "Are you hurt?" She nodded, trying to hold back tears. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "It's my first week. They're going to think I'm careless." Samuel smiled kindly. "My dear, coffee washes away. A mistake doesn't have to define you." Together, they gathered every sheet of paper. Within minutes, the floor looked as though nothing had happened. When Chloe finally looked up to thank him, Samuel was already pushing his cart down the hallway, quietly moving on to help someone else. She watched him disappear around the corner. For the first time since joining the company, someone had truly seen the man nobody else noticed. The moment the old janitor disappeared around the corner, Chloe couldn't stop thinking about him. Everyone else returned to work as though nothing had happened, but she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something extraordinary about Samuel. That evening, while organizing files in the Human Resources office, she noticed an old employee directory lying on a shelf. Curious, she searched for his name, Samuel Carter. Position, custodial services. Years of service, 28. Her eyes widened. 28 years? That was longer than many of the company's senior executives had even been employed. She scrolled further, expecting to find nothing more. Instead, one sentence caught her attention. Recognized for outstanding integrity and exemplary service. There were no awards, no promotions, no special titles, just nearly 3 decades of faithful service. She quietly closed the file. How could someone work in the same building for almost 30 years and remain practically invisible? The following Monday, excitement spread through the headquarters. The company's founder and CEO was returning from an international business tour. Employees rushed to prepare. Fresh flowers decorated the reception desk. Security officers stood at every entrance. Managers rehearsed welcome speeches. Even the cleaning staff received instructions to make sure every floor looked perfect. Samuel simply smiled and continued polishing the lobby. Marcus walked over. "You know who's coming today?" Samuel nodded. "So I've heard." "The whole company's acting like royalty is arriving." Samuel chuckled. "Titles impress people. Character impresses me." Marcus laughed. "I don't know how you always stay so calm." Samuel looked across the lobby. "Because storms never last forever." Marcus smiled, although he wasn't sure what Samuel meant. At exactly 9 a.m., a convoy of black luxury vehicles rolled to a stop outside the headquarters. Employees hurried toward the glass entrance. Phones came out. Some wanted photographs. Others simply hoped to shake the CEO's hand. The revolving doors opened. Daniel Carter stepped inside. Tall, confident, perfectly dressed, everything about him reflected success. Behind him walked lawyers, board members, investors, and assistants. The atmosphere changed instantly. People applauded. Managers stretched out their hands. "Welcome back, Mr. Carter. It's wonderful to have you home." Daniel acknowledged them with a polite smile, but his attention drifted somewhere else. His eyes slowly scanned the lobby, almost as though he were searching for someone important. Then, he saw an old man quietly wiping fingerprints from a glass door. Time seemed to stop. Daniel froze. His breathing became uneven. His assistant leaned closer. "Sir?" Daniel didn't answer. He took one slow step forward, then another. The applause faded into silence. Every employee watched as the CEO walked past department heads, past directors, past investors, ignoring every greeting. His eyes never left the elderly janitor. Samuel continued cleaning, unaware that dozens of people were now staring at him. Finally, he sensed someone standing nearby. He slowly turned. The cleaning cloth slipped gently from his hand. Their eyes met. Years of silence seemed to disappear in a single moment. Daniel's lips trembled. He whispered one word, "Dad." Gasps echoed through the lobby. Marcus nearly dropped the security clipboard in his hands. Chloe covered her mouth. Executives exchanged confused glances. One board member whispered, "Did he just call the janitor Dad?" For several long seconds, neither man spoke. Then Samuel smiled. The same gentle smile he wore every morning, the smile no one had ever thought twice about. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "I've been looking for you." Samuel lowered his head. "I know." "You knew?" Daniel asked. Samuel nodded softly. "I've known for quite some time." A deeper silence settled over the lobby. Nothing made sense anymore. If Samuel was really the CEO's father, why had he spent nearly 3 decades cleaning floors? Why had he never told anyone? And why had the CEO spent years searching for him? The answers were buried in a painful past that no amount of money could erase. What happened next would leave everyone questioning everything they thought they knew about success, family, and forgiveness. No one in the lobby dared to speak. The silence was so heavy that even the sound of the fountain in the reception area seemed louder than usual. Daniel and Samuel stood facing each other, separated by nothing more than a few feet, and years of unanswered questions. Finally, Daniel broke the silence. "I've searched for you for 7 years. Samuel looked at him with gentle eyes. "I know." I hired investigators. I checked every address I could remember. I even visited the town where we used to live. Samuel nodded quietly. I know. Daniel's voice cracked. Then why didn't you let me find you? Samuel smiled sadly. Because you weren't looking for your father. You were looking for someone to erase your guilt. The words struck Daniel harder than any accusation. He lowered his head. The executives standing nearby exchanged uneasy glances. They had never seen their confident CEO speechless. I deserve that, Daniel admitted. I walked away. Samuel slowly shook his head. No. You chased a dream, and I told you to. The lobby grew even quieter. Daniel looked up in disbelief. You told me to leave? Samuel nodded. Do you remember the night you received your university scholarship? Daniel closed his eyes. For a moment, he was no longer standing in a gleaming corporate lobby. He was 18 years old again. His mother had passed away only months earlier. Money was scarce. The small family home was falling apart. He had wanted to stay and care for his father. But Samuel had packed his son's suitcase with his own hands. You have a future waiting for you, he had said. Don't stay here because you're worried about me. Daniel had protested. I can't leave you alone. Samuel had smiled. The greatest gift a parent can receive is watching a child become everything they were meant to be. Those words had stayed with Daniel for years. But success had come faster than anyone expected. His technology company grew from a tiny startup into a global business. Investors poured in millions. The company expanded across continents, interviews, awards, magazine covers, board meetings. Every year, Daniel promised himself he would take a break and visit his father. Every year, business came first. Then, one day, he finally made time, only to discover Samuel had sold the old house. No forwarding address, no phone number. No trace. For 7 years, Daniel searched. Every birthday, every Christmas, every Father's Day. Nothing. Samuel had simply disappeared. Back in the present, Daniel looked at the old man with tears streaming down his face. I failed you. Samuel stepped closer. No, son. You lost your way. There's a difference. Daniel's shoulders shook as years of regret poured out. I thought if I became successful enough, I could finally give you the life you deserved. Samuel smiled. You already did. Daniel frowned. I don't understand. Samuel looked around the magnificent headquarters. I've watched this company grow from the very beginning. Daniel stared at him. What do you mean? I applied for this janitor's job 28 years ago. Not because I had nowhere else to go, but because this was the first building where you rented a tiny office. Daniel's eyes widened. I wanted to stay close enough to watch your dream grow. I never needed an executive office. I only needed to know my son was becoming the man I believed he could be. Tears rolled down the faces of employees throughout the lobby. Even Marcus quietly removed his cap and looked away. Samuel continued. Every promotion you earned, I celebrated. Every newspaper article, I kept. Every interview, I watched. I wasn't missing from your life, Daniel. You just didn't know where to look. Daniel could no longer hold back. He stepped forward and embraced his father. For the first time in years, neither man cared who was watching. The lobby erupted into quiet applause. Some employees wiped away tears, others simply stood in stunned silence. They had spent years walking past Samuel without ever asking about the quiet man who greeted them every morning with a smile. Now they realized they had overlooked someone whose greatest title had never been janitor. It had always been father. But Samuel's next words would leave the entire company even more astonished. The applause slowly faded. Daniel stepped back and looked at his father. Dad, you're coming home with me. Samuel smiled. I am already home. Daniel looked around the lobby in confusion. Samuel rested a hand on his shoulder. For 28 years, I've watched people walk through these doors chasing success. I've seen young interns become managers. I've seen managers become executives. I've watched this company grow into something extraordinary. And every morning I reminded myself of one thing. No job is beneath a person who works with honesty. The lobby fell silent again. Samuel looked at the employees gathered around them. I've cleaned your offices. I've picked up your trash. I've greeted you every morning. Some of you smiled back. Some of you never noticed I existed. I'm not saying this to make anyone feel ashamed. I'm saying it because life gives us opportunities every single day to show kindness. You never know whose heart you're touching. Chloe stepped forward. Tears filled her eyes. I'm sorry. I never even asked your name. Samuel smiled. But today you know it. She nodded, and I'll never forget it. One by one, employees walked toward Samuel. Some shook his hand. Others apologized. Marcus embraced him without saying a word. Several executives lowered their heads, embarrassed by the way they had overlooked the quiet man who had served beside them for nearly 3 decades. Daniel watched it all with tears in his eyes. Then he turned to the board of directors. Effective immediately, we're making some changes. Everyone looked at him. No employee in this company will ever be judged by their position. Our cleaners, security officers, receptionists, maintenance teams, assistants, and every member of our staff deserve the same respect as our executives. We succeed because all of us work together. The board members nodded. So here's where we begin. He walked over to Samuel's cleaning cart. He gently placed the mop against the wall. Then, in front of everyone, he picked up the old cart himself. Gasps echoed through the lobby. For the next several minutes, the CEO pushed the cleaning cart through the entrance hall, wiping tables, collecting litter, and cleaning the floor where thousands of employees walked each day. No cameras had been invited. No reporters had been called. It wasn't a publicity stunt. It was simply a son honoring the man who had taught him that no honest work is ever beneath anyone. Samuel smiled. Now you've remembered the lesson. Daniel looked at his father. I should have remembered it years ago. Samuel gently squeezed his son's shoulder. The best time to become a better person is today. Weeks later, the company introduced a new tradition. Every new employee, from interns to executives, spent one morning working alongside the cleaning and maintenance teams, not as punishment, as a reminder that every role matters. The culture of the company began to change. People greeted one another by name. Thank yous became common. Small acts of kindness became part of everyday life. And Samuel? He continued working for several more months, not because he had to, but because he wanted to finish what he had started. On his final day, every employee lined the lobby. As he pushed his cart toward the exit one last time, they applauded. Not for a janitor, not for the CEO's father, but for a man who had quietly changed hundreds of lives without asking for recognition. Before stepping outside, Samuel turned around and smiled. Never measure a person's worth by the clothes they wear or the job they do. The greatest people often serve without expecting applause. He gave one final wave and walked into the morning sunlight. This time, no one looked past him. Everyone knew his name. Samuel Carter. A father, a servant leader, a man whose greatest legacy wasn't the company his son built, it was the character he built in his son. Every story has a lesson. Today's lesson is simple. Respect is earned through character, not job titles. The person you overlook today may have a story that changes the way you see the world forever. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to StoryLoomTV, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, have you ever met someone whose kindness completely changed your perspective? Your story could inspire someone else. Until the next story, remember, every story has a lesson.